Here on the Business Brain Podcast, we'll improve the thinking skills that are getting in your way of doing what you want to do so you can work smarter, move faster, and grow your business with ease. Matthew was running a property management business, but emotionally, he was dead. The stress kept him piling up, and suddenly, the thing he was really good at, selling, became the thing that he couldn't get himself to do. He'd stare at the screen, try to hype himself up, and then just shut down. 6 months passed like that. Really little sales until we had a session together where he understood one key thing about how his brain was working and got all fired up again. If you're experiencing something similar, I'm here to tell you, you do not have to struggle forever. In this episode 516 of the Business Brain Podcast, I'm going to share with you the exact steps of what you can do to have your own transformation. But first, what if your brain actually worked with you instead of against you? That's the goal inside of Optimize Your ADHD Brain. It's a 90-day program where we go past the surface level hacks and create lasting change. Learn more and apply at lifepixuniversity.com/OYB. While you are doing any task, you, without even realizing it, are using your 28 thinking skills. When the thinking skills you need to use are strong, doing the task happens easily. And the skill you need to use is weak, doing the task becomes a challenge. The struggle that Matthew had came from a weak thinking skill of blocking. Blocking is when you have a wall in your brain and you feel like you just can't go through. Matthew mentioned this wall without even knowing the official term the first time we spoke. The opposite of blocking is perseverance. When you push through when things get hard. The thing we've got to understand about Matthew was it's not that he didn't want to push through. He literally felt like he couldn't. In his words, he was paralyzed. So the very first thing I had him do was change how he spoke about himself. I won't let him say that he is paralyzed because the words you use have a massive impact on the actions you take without you even realizing it. So by you saying, I'm paralyzed, you actually paralyze yourself. Instead, he switched it to, selling is very hard for me right now, but I will figure this out. It's not a lie, but it gets you out of that paralyzation. Once he had that down, then I explained to him the concept of a short-term and long-term strategies. For every problem we have, we need 2 solutions. A short-term strategy to help you right now and a long-term solution so you don't have to deal with this again in the future. Short-term solutions are great because they help you get moving right now. They give you the solution for this moment. And they go by or tricks and they help us getting the momentum. The problem is the moment you stop using this short-term strategy, you're back to square one. That's why we need a long-term strategy to solve the problem forever. The thing with long-term strategies is they take a lot more work and they take time to see results. However, once you put in the work and once you get the results that you want, you now have it forever and you don't have to do that strategy anymore. You completely got rid of your problem. Feeling very stuck and you can't move forward, you first need a short-term strategy to get the momentum going. You need a solution for right now. Matthew made very little sales in the past 6 months. He needed money now. He needed a solution for this exact moment. Once things are calmer, then we can talk about a long-term solution. Matthew had the idea of hiring someone to sit down next to him and give him the numbers while he does the cold calls. His assistant will take all the information, update the CRM, and then give him another number. This is not a long-term solution because the moment that his assistant isn't there, Matthew struggles to make the calls. We want him to do sales even when his assistant isn't there. But it's a great short-term strategy for right now to get that momentum going. About a month later, when things were in a better place, we were able to solve the root issue, work on a long-term solution so Matthew doesn't have to be reliant on other people. He was able to make even more money because he was able to move a lot faster when he wasn't relying on his assistant. If you're feeling stuck or maybe even paralyzed like Matthew, there's a good chance you're struggling with blocking. If this is the case, you've got two challenges this week. First thing you've got to do is change the words you are using. Don't lie to yourself. Just make sure your words are using are helping you go in the direction you want to go. The second thing that you want to do is come up with a short-term strategy. This isn't something that is necessarily going to be with you forever, but it's something that's going to help you right now get unstuck and get the momentum going. If you're struggling with coming up with a short-term strategy, send me a DM on LinkedIn at @SDRapaport and I'll help you walk through it. Have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Bye for now. That's all for this episode of the Business Brain Podcast. If you enjoyed it, send it to a friend who secretly wants stronger thinking skills too, so together you can grow your businesses with peak brain performance.